Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. A dialogue being held between the government and the victims of loan sharks. Victims put forth a 6-point demand, including formation of a commission. Cases filed against 187 individuals for irregularities in transfer of ownership of government-owned land in Damak Chhapa to the name of individuals. Ukrainian President Zelensky says 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed in action in the 2 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion. French President Macron to host world leaders in Paris today. And Liverpool beat Chelsea 1-0 through a late extra-time goal from captain Virgil van Dijk to lift the 10th Carabao Cup title. A dialogue between the victims of loan sharks and government representatives is being held at the Ministry of Home Affairs. First round of talks between the government and the victims of loan sharks yesterday had been termed positive by both sides. The Ministry of Home Affairs had corresponded with the Farmers and Workers Struggle Committee against loan sharking and fraud and had invited them for talk. Prior to that, saying chairperson Awadhesh Kushwaha was invited for talks individually, the Struggle Committee had expressed its dissatisfaction. The government then again had written to the committee. The dialogue team has been led by Under Secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Rudra Prasad Pandit. The correspondence of the Home Minister includes topics such as amendment in laws to address issues of victims of loan sharks, formation of a commission and assigning responsibilities to Nepal police for reconciliation, among other issues. The victims who had reached Kathmandu after an arduous journey of 23 days had been protesting for the past 6 days with their 6-point demand, including formation of the commission. Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority has registered 2 cases regarding the irregularities related to transfer of government-owned land in Damak Municipality, Chhapa, to the name of individuals. Alleging irregularities in transfer of ownership of government-owned land to the name of individuals, the CIAA has filed cases against 187 individuals in one case with 172 in another. The anti-graft body has filed cases against 187 individuals, including Ramdev Mandal Dhanuk, a former official at Survey Office, Chhapa. The cases have been filed on corruption for illegal benefit by transferring ownership of government land in the name of individuals. Cases have been filed against 9 individuals, in fact, officials of Survey Office Chandragadi, Chhapa, and 65 individuals who had registered the ownership of the government-owned land under their name. The CIAA has said that 18 bighas and 17 katthas of public land were transferred to the name of individuals. The basic valuation of the land stands at 461.21 million rupees. In another case, cases have been registered against 36 government officials, including 10 officials of Survey Office Chandragadi, 11 officials of Land Management Damak, and 7 of Survey Office Damak. Despite cases being filed against 359 individuals, CIAA spokesperson Nadhari Khimire has said that some of the names have been repeated. Proposal for pre-budget discussions is to be presented at the House of Representatives today with the objective of including the participation of parliamentarians in budget development. Pre-budget discussions are to be held at the House of Representatives, in fact, the House from this time. At yesterday's meeting of the House of Representatives, parliamentarians of opposition parties put forward their demands, including resignation of disputed ministers. Parliamentarian of Nepali Congress, Ramhari Khatiwada, said that he had information regarding commission ploy of 180 million rupees at the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation for procurement of new aircraft. CPN-UML parliamentarian Bhim Acharya alleged aviation mafias of capturing the Nepali sky by influencing Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The parliamentarians also raised issues including the demands of the victims of loan sharks, cooperatives, monkey problem and unemployment among educated citizens. Speaker Devraj Khimire issued a ruling directing the government to respond to the issues raised by the lawmakers. Farmers in the upper Himalayan region of Dolakha who planted potatoes have breathed some respite following delayed monsoon rain coupled with snowfall. The monsoon rain and snowfall will contribute in the revival of the food crop. The farmers who had been waiting for monsoon rain and snowfall had delayed cultivation of potatoes. Potatoes grow in Shailung, Melung, Kharidunga, Bigu and Jiri among other places during this time of the year. Likewise, farmers in the lower region of the district say that the monsoon rain has contributed in irrigating wheat in their farms. They say that wheat diseases will also decrease as rain helps settle pollutants and smog. Meanwhile, some farmers in the region have started cultivating corn. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people about their opinion on the topic of transfer of generation for political leadership. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
मै हुनुपर्ने जुन प्रवृत्ति दलहरुभित्र रहेका नेताहरुमा छ जबसम्म यो प्रवृत्ति चाहिँ अन्त्य हुँदैन तबसम्म चाहिँ पुस्तान्तरण भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ नारामै सीमित हुन्छ।
दललाई बलियो बनाउन सफल बनाउन आफ्ना दलका नीति तथा कार्यक्रमहरुलाई लागू गर्न युवाहरुको एउटा चाहिँ जोश जाँगर विवेक छ त्यसलाई युज गर्नुपर्छ।
नयाँ पुस्ताहरुले सोच्ने कुरा नै नयाँ खालको हुन्छ र प्रत्येक पार्टीबाट पुस्तान्तरण हुनुपर्छ।
फ्रेश मान्छे आउन आवश्यक छ जसको चाहिँ भिजन पनि राम्रो हुनुपर्छ।
इच्छा शक्ति हुनुपर्ने नेतृत्वमा र युवा पिढीहरुले पनि त्यो भूमिका खोज्न चाहिँ तयार हुनु पर्यो।
पुस्ता हस्तान्तरण चाहिँ कुरा चलिया चाहिँ राम्रो कुरा छ यो चाहिँ हुनै पर्छ।
जुनसुकै पार्टीले पनि यसरी दोस्रो पुस्तामा पुस्तान्तरण हुनु जरुरी देख्छौं।
को सही को गलत हेरेर हामीले सबैलाई नयाँलाई चाहिँ हामीले जे कुरामा पनि अगाडि बढाउनु पर्छ।
हरेक राजनीतिक पार्टीको युवाहरू एक भएर अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ र पार्टीमा हरेक ठाउँमा आफ्नो ठाउँ लिनुपर्छ। लिएपछि मात्र देशमा परिवर्तन हुन्छ।
युवाहरू भोलि देशको कर्णधार हो त्यसैले युवाहरूको बढी खाँचो छ राजनीतिकमा युवाहरूलाई अगाडि बढाउनु पर्छ।
योग्य छन् भने पुस्तान्तरण गर्दा ठीक छ छैन भने जबरजस्ती यो लादिरहेछन् त्यो नेगेटिभ हो।
परिपक्व नेताहरूको दिमाग पनि बुढो भइसकेको हुन्छ र अनि उहाँहरूको जोश जाँगर पनि बुढो भइसकेको हुन्छ। त्यसकारणले पुस्ता हस्तान्तरण हुन जरुरी छ।
Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What do you term the hesitation among the officials to take decisions by following the regulations? Your options are A, pretext to avoid responsibility, B, fear of actions, and C, does not serve their interest. Voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed in action in the 2 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Speaking at the Ukraine Year 2024 forum in Kyiv, Zelensky said that each of the losses is a great sacrifice for Ukraine. He added that tens of thousands of civilians had been killed in occupied areas of Ukraine, but said that no exact figures would be available until the war was over. It's the first time that Kyiv has confirmed the number of its losses since the start of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine on February 24, 2022. The Defense Minister Rustem Umerov said that a strong military strategy is already in place for the coming months, but did not disclose details. French President Emmanuel Macron will host world leaders in Paris today for a conference designed to bolster Western support for Ukraine as Russia's war against the country passes the 2-year mark. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro gathered thousands of supporters on Sao Paulo's iconic Paulista Avenue yesterday to demonstrate political strength amid investigations that many believe could land him in jail. The far-right former president, who called the rally after being targeted by a police raid earlier this month investigating an alleged coup attempt, spoke for about 20 minutes to defend himself while reminiscing about his 2019 to 2022 term. Bolsonaro had his support confiscated, in fact his passport confiscated, and was accused of editing a draft decree to overturn election results, pressuring military chiefs to join a coup attempt, and plotting to jail a Supreme Court justice after his electoral loss to leftist President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in 2022. Supporters of Bolsonaro, a populist often likened to former US President Donald Trump, invaded and ransacked Brazil's presidential palace, Supreme Court, and Congress, calling for a military coup on January 8, 2023, a week after Lula took office. Bolsonaro yesterday denied the accusations and said he was being persecuted, adding that the draft decree was based on the Constitution. He also called for amnesty for people who took part in the January 8 riot. Due to lack of clean drinking water, a large number of local people in the Gaza Strip are suffering from a variety of diseases, including hepatitis, which are widespread, especially among children. A report released by the Ministry of Health in the Gaza Strip showed that due to poor sanitary conditions, more than 300,000 cases of acute respiratory infections and over 200,000 cases of acute diarrhea have been registered there, more than half of which are children under the age of 5. In addition to the spread of diseases, displaced people in the shelter also face severe shortage of food. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, stated on social media that due to poor sanitary conditions, the locals are suffering the spread of diseases. The organization said clean water is currently scarce in Gaza and solid waste is increasing, accelerating the spread of disease there. The current situation is catastrophic and the organization is working hard to provide aid to the Gaza Strip. Polish farmers added their tractors to growing EU protest, blocking one of the key crossings into Germany. Some 100 tractors lined up on the Polish side of the A20 north of Szwecko, blocking the border and forcing German-bound traffic through Slubice and over the bridge into Frankfurt Oder. The protest, which had started yesterday afternoon, was causing heavy traffic on other roads by late afternoon. Farmers across Europe have been stepping up protest this year, including in Poland, France, Germany, Spain and Italy, complaining of low prices and high cost, cheap imports and constraints from the EU's Green Deal climate change initiative. Central Europe's farmers are angry over what they call unfair competition from abroad, particularly Ukraine, after an EU decision in 2022 to waive duties on Ukrainian food imports. Farmers have also said markets are facing distortions and low prices coming from surpluses amid cheap imports. They also are unhappy with growing paperwork. Hundreds of South Korean doctors rallied and proceeded toward the presidential office in Seoul on yesterday to protest a government plan to increase medical school admissions. The government plans to raise medical school admissions by 2,000 from the 2025 academic year, aiming to add 10,000 more doctors by 2035. Before the rally, the doctors representing different areas across the country gathered at a meeting held by the Korean Medical Association. The association has requested that the government cancel the plan, saying that higher medical school admissions will only lower the overall medical education level in South Korea and won't solve the medical resources imbalance. The South Korean government said yesterday that it will continue implementing the policy and take prompt judicial action against the collective resignation of doctors. In response, the association warned of continued protests if the government insists on the policy. Many major hospitals in South Korea have cancelled or postponed scheduled surgeries and other treatment procedures because of the protesters. The Asan Medical Center and Samsung Medical Center said they have cut the number of surgeries by 40 or 50%. Some patients said they had been asked to leave hospital as soon as possible. The government believes South Korea's aging society will need more medical workers in the future, but doctors say the population of South Korea will continue shrinking due to the low birth rate, so there is no shortage of doctors. The Taliban yesterday released Herbert Fritz, an 84-year-old Austrian and far-right nationalist who was arrested in Afghanistan last May. The Austrian government said in a statement, Fritz arrived in Doha earlier in the day after mediation by the Qatari government helped to secure his release. After his arrest last year, Austria's Der Standard newspaper said Fritz had gone to Afghanistan and reported positively on life there. The Taliban had arrested him on suspicion of spying. The Austrian Foreign Ministry said it had been working to secure Fritz's release since May and thanked Qatar and the European Union representation in Kabul for assisting its efforts to bring about his return to Austria. Fritz was a founding member of the country's National Democratic Party (NDP), an extreme right group banned in 1988. Austria's far-right Freedom Party, which has been leading opinion polls ahead of parliamentary elections due later this year, had pressed for Fritz's release. The party has said he was researching a book in Afghanistan. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. A dialogue being held between the government and the victims of loan sharks. Victims put forth a 6-point demand, including formation of a commission. Cases filed against 187 individuals for irregularities in transfer of ownership of government-owned land in Damak Chapa to the name of individuals. Ukrainian President Zelensky says 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed in action in the 2 years since Russia's full-scale invasion. French President Macron to host world leaders in Paris today. And Liverpool beat Chelsea 1-0 through a late extra-time goal from captain Virgil van Dijk to lift the 10th Carabao Cup title. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good day.